Capricorn, welcome to your astrology reading for the month of May. So before I get started, the way that this is structured, this is going to be most applicable for your rising sign. So if you're pulling your birth chart, you do need to know your birth time because the ascendant does change pretty frequently throughout the day. And so what you're looking for is the zodiac sign that rules your ascendant, your first house. Those are all your rising sign. So whatever that is, that's how other people see you, especially when they first meet you. This is also applicable for your sun sign, so this is how you express yourself. And it's also applicable for your moon sign, and this is really how you process everything emotionally. So if you listen to all three, you'll get that holistic picture of just who you are, how the month is going to play out, all of it. And so jumping into the energy in May, we do have a lot of Taurus energy and a lot of Gemini energy. And so for you, this is going to impact your fifth house and your sixth house. Fifth house is passions. It's passions, hobbies, children, short-term relationships. So it's really those things that you enjoy doing when you're not at work. Think about it that way. And then sixth house is your daily life. And so daily life encompasses everything. It encompasses your work routine. It encompasses your home life and any kind of daily routine that you have there. And it doesn't have to be something that you do every single day. It's about the life that you live on a regular basis. And so this would be some sort of diet, some sort of exercise, a program that you might follow. All of that is included in that sixth house energy. So starting off the month, we have a pretty major transit taking place. So we'll have Pluto stationed retrograde in the sign of Aquarius. And so earlier this year on January 20th, we had Pluto enter the sign of Aquarius. Pluto being the planet of transformation. Aquarius is all about liberation. And so what you've probably noticed, if you've been paying attention to anything at all, because it's kind of hard to miss, there's been a lot of changes taking place across the world. And this would be related to old structures that just don't belong anymore. There's something about that they either need to come crumbling down and completely rebuilt, never rebuilt, or just significantly modified in some sort of way, because there's something about it where it just can't continue the way it is. It's not flexible enough. Aquarius is trying to liberate and really try to expand whatever is happening there, but the structure is so rigid that it can't. And so that's what that Pluto in Aquarius energy does. And so when it stations retrograde, instead of seeing all this external transformation, now everything's directed inward. And so we're going to be in this energy for a little while before Pluto retrogrades back into the sign of Capricorn, only then to later go direct back into the sign of Aquarius. So there's a lot of Pluto energy this year. It's going to impact us pretty significantly for a good portion of the year, just because of all these retrograde, direct, changing signs. So pretty impactful. And so for you, Pluto retrograde is sitting in your second house. So this is your personal finances. And when Pluto does station retrograde, it will be trine Jupiter in Taurus. Taurus energy occupying your fifth house. So passion projects, hobbies, things like that. Maybe short-term relationships, maybe even children. And so what this is doing is it's giving you some sort of opportunity to reflect on maybe your savings plan, maybe your spending versus savings habits. How do you want to use that and grow a passion project, maybe save so that you can have children or make it easier to have children in that way. And so that's the first transit. There's going to be a lot of fifth house energy happening here. And so there's a lot of interconnection between your personal finances, what you value, and then what you're trying to explore from that fifth house perspective. And this is another one. So Pluto retrograde, trine Uranus and Taurus. And so there's something within that house of passions and joy and fun that does need to change. This trine energy indicates that it's just going to happen organically. It's a very easy flowing type of energy. So if there's something there that's just not working for you, then it's going to go away. It's not going to be something that you necessarily have to change, but there is going to be an impact on your personal finances. There is a change happening in the way that you save money or the way that you spend money, or maybe even invest money, because that second house does indicate that this is money you have. You already own it. This Pluto retrograde will also create an opportunity for you to explore the house that you want. So sextile Mars and Aries. Mars is the ruler of Aries. This is where the changes that you might be making in your financial savings plan are creating an opportunity to maybe save money to buy a house. That Mars sitting in Aries, occupying your fourth house of home, indicates you might go looking for a home. This might be the time that you start going and talking and finding out, do I have enough to buy the home that I want, go after the home that I want. Pluto retrograde, sextile Neptune in Pisces. So Neptune in Pisces is all about dreams. And so when it comes to this, because Neptune's a ruler of Pisces, so it's really that energy amplified, it's sitting in your third house. And so third house is about communication. So whatever changes, internal changes you're making to your savings plan, it's also creating you an opportunity to maybe talk to somebody. So this would be maybe talking to the bank and getting a mortgage or getting that pre-approval letter, maybe talking to a real estate agent to go after and start searching for the home that you want. This would all be highlighted here. Pluto retrograde is also square Venus and Taurus. And so Venus is the ruler of Taurus. So again, energy amplified. Venus and Taurus, this energy is really emphasizing what you value, what you like best about a situation. This is sitting in your fifth house. And so passions, hobbies, things like that. And so it could be that maybe you don't spend as much money on your hobbies, even though that's something you really enjoy doing and you get a lot of pleasure out of it. There might be something that needs to change here in order for you to be able to save for that home or whatever it is that you want to save for, or talk to somebody about investments or something like that. So there's a connection between maybe the money that you're saving, spending, and what this hobby is or what you really enjoy doing. And so there's definitely some sort of obstacle or challenge in that way. You can work with the energy. It's about finding that happy medium. And then on the 7th, we'll have the new moon in Taurus. So that's going to happen at 11:22 p.m. Eastern time. And so when that happens, we'll have the sun, moon, Venus, Jupiter, and Uranus all in the sign of Taurus. And so Taurus energy, very grounded, very practical. It's an earth sign, emphasizing what you value here. And so with the sun and the moon conjunct, so they'll be at the same degree point in the sky, there's a lot of emphasis here on what it is that you value in that fifth house energy. So your passion projects, hobbies, maybe children, maybe having children. What is it about those topics that you just really love, that you really enjoy doing and that you want to continue doing more of? It's really highlighting that type of energy. It'll be highlighted more because the sun and moon are conjunct Venus. And so again, really emphasizing here what it is that you enjoy doing in your free time. Spending time with children, maybe getting ready to have children, working on some sort of hobby or passion project here. Could even be short-term romance, definitely something highlighted here in the fifth house. We'll also have the sun and moon conjunct Jupiter, again, all sitting in the sign of Taurus. So this is all sitting in that fifth house energy. And so Jupiter is the planet of expansion. So what do you want to grow when it comes to your hobbies? Is this where maybe you want to have more children or have children, something along those lines? We'll also have the sun and moon conjunct Uranus in the sign of Taurus. And so Uranus is the planet of sudden change. And so what's not working in that fifth house? What's not working when it comes to your passion projects, your hobbies or children or something along those lines? Because this is something where the energy is going to be really blended. And so really the emphasis here is on keeping the things that you value and letting go of the rest. That's what the Uranus energy would be doing here. And then the sun and the moon will be sextile Neptune and Pisces. And so sextile creates an opportunity. Neptune in Pisces. Neptune's the ruler of Pisces, so it's really that energy amplified. And so this is all about your communication. How do you want to communicate? What do you want to communicate here? Especially as it relates to maybe passion projects, things that you enjoy doing, maybe having children here. So this could also be highlighted. Short-term relationships also come into play here. So maybe it's having conversations around that. Maybe those are the type of relationships you enjoy. And then on the 15th, we'll have Mercury enter the sign of Taurus. And so that's going to happen at 1:05 p.m. Eastern time. And so we'll have Mercury, Venus, Sun, Jupiter, and Uranus all in Taurus. And so that's a lot of energy sitting in that fifth house. But right away, when Mercury enters the picture here for Taurus, it's going to be trine the moon in Leo. The moon in Leo is all about creative self-expression. And so Mercury is also about expressing yourself. But this would be expressing yourself in a way that's very grounded, very practical, emphasizing what you value the most. And so this trine moon in Leo energy, where this is going to impact you is the moon in Leo is sitting in your 8th house. Your 8th house is all about transformation. So Mercury in Taurus is about, okay, let me talk about and maybe express why I love my passion projects or those things that I enjoy doing, children, short-term relationships. And then how does that relate to any kind of transformation that's taking place? Because that 8th house is death and rebirth. It is also about other people's money. And so there has been some energy earlier in the month when it comes to your personal finances. When it comes to the 8th house energy, the 8th house is money from an outside source. So this could be debt, this could be some sort of loan or something else, as well as the money that you earn at your job. So this would be money that somebody pays you. And so this is a really easy blend of energies that maybe this is an opportunity for you to make more money, to go after your passion projects. Maybe you get some sort of investor here to support you in going after exactly what you want to do. That would be this type of energy. We'll also have Mercury square Pluto in Aquarius. And so this communication around what you value, what you want in your 5th house, and really kind of going after that does create some sort of obstacles or challenges when it comes to your personal finances. And so the changes that you're maybe making in your spending habits or your savings habits. And so this is where you can kind of see that, okay, I want to scale back the money that I have. So I don't want to spend as much money right now because it's really more about saving. But if I get a raise at work, then I can use that money. And so I'm still saving what I want to save, but I can take the money that I'm getting from this outside source and now use it to spend on whatever supplies I need to do my hobby or pursue my passion, whatever this is. Then we'll have the Sun enter Gemini. So that's going to happen on the 20th at 9 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. And so the Sun in Gemini. So Sun is all about self-expression. Gemini is very inquisitive. And so this would be really having those conversations, those like really deep, detailed conversations. Gemini likes to get into the weeds, likes to ask the why behind everything, really wants to know all the details here. And so the Sun in Gemini conjunct Venus, Jupiter, and Uranus, but they're all sitting in Taurus. And so with this, the Sun in Gemini is sitting in your 6th house. So this is your daily routines. It's creating something expansive within that passion project. So really highlighting here what you value, what you want to grow, what doesn't need to be here anymore when it comes to that 5th house energy. And so when you think about this, could it be related to children? Maybe having conversations around, okay, I need to make room in my daily life in order to be able to have children or have more children, or maybe it's about making more time for hobbies and less time for something else, because there is this connection between your daily life and these things that you enjoy doing in your spare time, these passion projects. We'll also have the Sun in Gemini trine Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. And so easy flowing energy. So when you think about what it is that you're trying to accomplish in your daily life, really getting into the details of it, what is it that you want? What is it that you are trying to do here? There is this easy flowing energy when it comes to your personal finances and those changes that you're probably making when it comes to your investment strategy, your saving strategy, things like that. So maybe it would be in order to, so kind of looking at them together, if you want to grow and expand something in your hobbies, maybe you spend less money on something else. So you still have the savings plan in mind. You still have a dollar amount that you're trying to hit every single month. And now what you're doing is you're finding other ways to fund it. You're finding other ways to fund these passion projects. And so that could be highlighted here. We'll also have the Sun in Gemini sitting in your 6th house, sextile Neptune in Pisces. And so lots of conversation, lots of communication. So this would be, your daily life and what you want in your daily life. It's giving you some sort of opportunity to really maybe open up and talk about things that you really want to do here, really exploring that perspective, because there's a lot of emphasis on that 5th house energy. So going after passion projects, maybe having children, something along those lines. Then we have the full moon in Sagittarius. So that's going to happen on the 23rd at 9:53 in the morning. But that's not the only thing happening on the 23rd. So I'll get to that in a minute. And so in the morning, we'll have the full moon in Sagittarius. And so what this means is that you've got the Sun in Gemini and you've got the moon in Sagittarius. They're at opposite points in the sky. And so it's creating this really push-pull. Sun in Gemini likes to get into the details. Moon in Sagittarius likes to see things from that big picture perspective. And so it's creating some sort of opposition because the details and the big picture just aren't lining up. And so for you, the Sun sitting in your daily routines, the moon in Sagittarius is sitting in your 12th house. So that is the kind of spiritual house. This is where you escape from the world and really kind of go inside yourself. And maybe this is the way that you talk to yourself internally, all of these things. And so there's something that you might be learning about your daily routines or these changes that you're making in your daily routines. And then it's creating some sort of conflict here with the way that you maybe have seen yourself. This would be something along the lines of, I'm trying to make these changes. I really want to pursue this passion project, but maybe you've never felt like you were good enough, that would be that 12th house kind of energy. It would be something where you need to change the way that you speak to yourself internally, because that would be the opposition. You would have to find some sort of way to come to a compromise here. You'd have to find a way to meet in the middle. There's a lot of energy happening during this full moon in Sagittarius. And so we'll have the sun conjunct Jupiter, Venus, and Uranus in Taurus. And so we already spoke about that. That's really about within your daily life. How do you make more room for these passion projects? Maybe having children, getting rid of things that just don't belong in that scenario anymore. The moon is opposite that energy. And so this is where it's creating some sort of conflict. If you're trying to grow something, how do you feel about that? Like, how do you feel really deep down about that? Is there something here that might scare you a little bit about going down and putting so much energy and emphasis behind your passion projects, or maybe having children? Because there's something about it. It is an opposition, so it is creating some sort of really like push-pull. Like, I've never felt like I could do that, but I really want to do it, and I'm getting this really solid opportunity to go after it, but there's this fear connected to it. So definitely something that you would want to work with. But we will have the moon trine Neptune in Pisces. And so when it comes to what you want and really understanding the situation, really how the truth of the situation, big picture perspective, it is creating opportunities for you to really express yourself. So if you have something that you want to get off your chest, this would indicate that kind of opportunity where there's something where a fear that maybe you were unable to speak up about. This would give you that opportunity to really do that. It's a trine energy, so it's going to be a very easy flowing energy. It's going to feel very natural to be able to express and say, you know what, I've always wanted that. I've always wanted to go after that. I've always wanted to have children, or put more energy into my creative aspects. And so, but I've always had this fear around judgment, or just not feeling good enough, not feeling like I would get the recognition that I'm looking for, or anything like that. So it's going to create this opportunity. And I say opportunity, it's not really an opportunity because it's going to happen pretty easily. What will create an opportunity here is the sun in Gemini will create an opportunity for you to express yourself. And so when it comes to your daily life and all these changes that you might be making in your daily life, or really just understanding all the details of your daily life, this is also creating an opportunity to say, you know what, I am making room for this here. I do have to act on it. If you want to express yourself, you are going to have to take some sort of action on it. So there is something here about expressing yourself the way that you want to be viewed. And it really feels a lot like being open and vulnerable, at least for a minute, so that people can see what it is that you really want and like who you truly are. We'll also have the sun in Gemini trine Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. And so again, when it comes to your daily life, really easy flow of energy with the changes that you're making in your personal finances. So that savings plan you're trying to come up with, that investment strategy that you have for yourself. The moon in Sagittarius is sextile Pluto retrograde. And so the way that you feel about the entire situation might be changing, because you might be seeing the truth of the situation now. But what it's doing is it's creating an opportunity for you to go after that personal savings plan. It's giving you that opportunity to really say, yes, this is exactly what I want, and for all these other reasons why. I can go after, I can buy that house that I want. I will be able to save enough money. These would be the types of things that would be happening here. And so I said on the same day that there would be something else. So that full moon is in the morning. At 4:31 in the afternoon, we'll have Venus enter Gemini. And so this Venus in Gemini being very open, very talkative, very social energy, Venus might add in a little bit of flirtatious energy into the mix. Venus likes to bring things together. So this is about being very friendly, very open, and everything else all in your daily life. And so all of this energy is sitting in your 6th house. We'll have Venus conjunct the sun right away in the 6th house. And so again, very open, very direct. We'll also have Venus conjunct Jupiter and Uranus. They're both in the sign of Taurus. And so what happens here is, when it comes to your daily life and the changes that are happening here, what do you want to grow? What do you want to expand? Relative to those kind of passion projects, because this Venus in Gemini is like, well, I find a lot of harmony and a lot of balance within my daily routines. And I'm going to use that to expand and grow my hobbies, my passions, maybe having children or expanding children, something along those lines, and getting rid of any kind of anything that just doesn't belong there, that Uranus energy will get rid of it. It's very clear communication, though, with that Venus and Gemini energy. We'll also have Venus and Gemini trine Pluto retrograde, and so very easy flow. So whatever it is that you're trying to bring together in your daily life, whatever harmony and balance you're trying to bring there, really emphasizing what you value in your daily life, it is also blending very easily with the changes that you're making to your savings plan. Whatever goals, financial security you're going after here, this is a very easy flow of energy. So there's a lot of real alignment taking place in getting what you want. We'll also have Venus sextile Neptune in Pisces. And so this Venus and Gemini sitting in your 6th house of daily routines, Neptune in Pisces in your 3rd house of communication. And so it's creating an opportunity for you to maybe have the types of communication that you want to have, or express yourself in a way that is more meaningful to you, or really emphasizes here what you value, what you want, what it is that matters the most to you, how you're maybe trying to bring harmony and balance into your life, because that is that Venus energy. We'll also have Venus opposite the moon in Sagittarius, because it's conjunct the sun. We just have the full moon, so it's opposite point. So with this Venus opposite the moon in Sagittarius, whatever is happening in your daily life could be creating some sort of push-pull with the way that you feel about yourself. Again, it might be something here, maybe some sort of insecurity or something like that that's been coming to the surface, because the full moon is earlier this day. So with that full moon, the full moon illuminates whatever's been hidden. So really thinking about it through that lens, there's something coming to the surface. There's something about the big picture or the way that you believed a situation was that might not be correct anymore. That might be modifying, because that old way of thinking just doesn't belong anymore. And then on the 25th, we'll have Jupiter enter Gemini. And so there's 2 benefic planets. And that's it. There's 2 benefic planets. One is Venus, one is Jupiter. They're both entering Gemini. And so Venus entering on the 23rd, Jupiter's entering on the 25th. So it's a lot of positive energy here sitting in your house of daily life. And so we'll have the Sun, Venus, and Jupiter all in Gemini, and they're going to be in a conjunction with each other. So what this means is whatever it is that you're trying to grow and really taking what you value in your daily life, understanding the details of it, what is it that you want to expand and grow, it's all going to feel very harmonious. It's going to feel very balanced and very grounded, very practical and achievable, and love to see that energy. Jupiter will also be conjunct Uranus sitting in Taurus. And so is there something connected to passions, hobbies, children, something along those lines that does need to change in order for you to expand your daily life? And so this might be passions, or maybe old hobbies that just you don't need to do anymore. You just don't get the fun out of it anymore. And so you're just going to let that go. What you're really doing is you're making more room, and you're really growing and expanding what you do value right now. And so going after those types of passion projects. This Jupiter in Gemini will also be trine Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. And so when it comes to your daily life and growing pieces of your daily life, it is this easy flowing energy when it comes to your finances too. So when it comes to your savings plan, there might be things that you're growing in your daily life that also provide you some sort of opportunity to have the savings plan that you want, or make some sort of modification to your personal finances. This could also indicate maybe taking some of that money and investing it somewhere, because this could be part of that daily connection that you're making, where you're just going about finding ways to do this. Jupiter in Gemini, sextile Neptune in Pisces. And so again, whatever in your daily life that you want to grow, you want to expand, it's creating an opportunity for you to really communicate exactly what you want here, and do it in a way that feels like it's very authentic to you. Like these would be maybe long-term dreams that you might have had for yourself, or something about what it is that you're trying to accomplish here. It's an opportunity to have those conversations and really be outspoken about it, but it is going to require you to take action in order to make that happen. So Capricorn, this is your reading. I hope it resonates. If it did, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.